Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. I am Patrick of Helena, son of Joseph. And welcome to this broadcast, which we call Pat Gray Unleashed. Great to have you here. Thanks for joining us. If you want to get in touch with us, you can call 888-900-3393 or just, tweet us as well at Pat Unleashed. All of that is available to you. Another just loaded up show with mind-bogglingly aggravating stories. I mean, everything from COVID-19 and mandates and vaccines to our ridiculous, horrific Biden administration.
The world's a great place, right?
It's a great place right now. Yep, things are going really well. Liz Cheney, too. Liz Cheney now says she was wrong to oppose same-sex marriage. What makes this person a Republican? Why is she a Republican? Why and how? Very strange. Why didn't she just join the Democrat caucus? Of course, she's not in there now, but she's running. Leslie Stahl noted that while Cheney has a gay sister who is married and has children, she opposed gay marriage in 2013. And Cheney's dad had taken a different position on the issue. How do you defend what you did? Stahl asked her. I was wrong. I love my sister very much. I love her family very much. Adding again that she was wrong. I believe that my dad was right. And my sister and I have had that conversation. Difficult, well, when it's your family. That's really hard. But I don't think there's a single conservative bone in her body. I don't know why she's a Republican. It's just bizarre. Meanwhile, Dez Bryant has called out Colin Kaepernick, which I didn't think is that legal? Can you actually say something negative about Colin Kaepernick? Former Cowboys star Dez Bryant called him out for raising awareness without a clear call to action to help the black community. He said, I respect Colin Kaepernick, but there is one thing that I don't respect. And I said when I get the opportunity and to get on the stage and say it, I would say it. And I love him to death. So there ain't no hate or nothing like that. Nicely put, Des. But brother, you had the biggest opportunity in the world to create jobs, to build jobs, to give jobs to people.
To take a job.
Mm-hmm. But the people that you was talking about, the people that you were so-called standing up for, people who stood beside you, people who lost their jobs because of you, where you at? I ain't heard from you. He brought the awareness, and that's why I respect him. Okay.
Wait, what?
Sound like a lot of respect there.
I was going to say.
Very strange.
That reminds me of Dez Bryant blowing up on the sideline during a Cowboys game once where he looks so angry. He's like, I wasn't angry at all. And it turned out the audio from that encounter when he was screaming at the top, he actually wasn't angry. So it just plays out when he's giving speeches too, apparently.
Interesting. Y'all missed the message, and I'm fine with that. Me speaking on Cap was about unity. Cap leading the charge. A ton of us athletes have donated a lot of money and yet to own anything. Okay. Bryant also antagonized some when he wrote in 2017 that many in the black community were held back not by historic racism, but by a lack of personal accountability.
Whoa,
How
Dez.
Dare you? How dare you say that?
Check yourself, Dez.
It's too late. He already wrecked himself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's too late. Wow. Okay, well, there you go. So he respects Cap a lot. But, when you listen to the actual quotes, it may not seem like that, but it is like that. Just know that going in.
Okay.
All right?
Good.
Okay. I don't want to hear any different from anybody. 888-900-3393. Secretary Mayorkas on Sunday discussing the COVID testing of migrants.
Yeah, we played some clips from
Love this,
but we didn't play this one. This is interesting, especially when in context with yesterday's press conference.
Uh-huh.
So we got some fun. Got some fun with Mayorkas. Boy, I don't know why they're putting him out there because he's obviously he did the congressional testimony where he bombed, and now he's doing the Sunday circuit, and now he's doing press conferences. I just don't know why they're even letting him speak at this point. It's really bad.
Because they know they're going to get cover from the mainstream media, and it's not going to matter. I mean, they can do and say whatever they want, and there's no repercussions for them. No consequences of their actions at all.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
But you know the biggest issue, though, on the border, however, is the horses, Pat. It's
I know.
not the thousands upon thousands
of
people living under bridges coming across.
No, that's not a problem.
Will. It's those damn horses.
Well, did you see them? Did you see those border agents on the horses? Sometimes they got in the way of the Haitians trying to break into our country illegally.
Yeah, see.
Sometimes they got right in their way.
If there were no horses, then all of the problems on the border would be completely solved.
Yeah, then you could just walk around the border agent. You wouldn't have to worry about the big fat horse.
Right? Thank you.
Man.
All right.
I mean, I've never seen such a horrific scene in my life as where they were rounding up those Haitians.
There's too many horses in America, Pat.
Too many. Yeah. Well, here's Mayorkas talking about things.
Of the 30,000 Haitians who came across the border into Del Rio, how many did your department test for COVID?
So we have strict COVID testing protocols that we apply across the board.
Okay.
But we test,
how many
isolate, and quarantine unaccompanied children. We work with nonprofit organizations to test families. Those who are in ICE custody are tested, isolated, and quarantined. Those who are expelled under the Title 42 Public Health Authority are returned immediately. They are not placed in immigration court proceedings, and those we do not test because they are returned immediately.
But your own department's Inspector General said that your testing policy and the failure to test a lot of people who end up in this country, that you rely on local or state officials and a lot of people don't get tested, has put communities in this country at risk.
We concurred with those recommendations. We made improvements. That is also nothing new. That is exactly why we have an independent review of our operations to see where we can make improvements, where we can strengthen our processes, and that is exactly what we did here.
A couple of more questions I want.
Okay, yeah. Did you get all that?
No.
No, they're on guard. They're testing people. They're always seeking ways to improve their organization. And everything's fine. There's no issue here.
Yeah, stop asking him questions about it.
We test people. He makes it very clear. We test them.
So that was Sunday. Then here he is yesterday.
It's a situation there. I know that the crowd has been dispersed. Do we know who has tested positive, if people got sick, any kind of symptoms among this group of 15,000 you said?
Yes, so we did not test that population of individuals. We do not know, I do not know, I should say, if I may be perfectly accurate, I do not know whether anyone was sick.
Wait, I thought that you were following protocols and that you test everybody.
That's the same person.
Then the next day,
24 hours later.
No, we didn't test any of those people. Wait, the 15,000 Haitians? You didn't test them. Okay. All right, well, perfect. Why didn't he say that to Chris Wallace? Really weird. That's bizarre.
This is...
And all of a sudden, no, we didn't test any of them. Wait a minute, you were babbling endlessly about protocols and how you test everybody yesterday.
How can you govern like this?
How do you get away with it?
Right.
Is the amazing thing. Yeah. How do you get away with it all the time?
Yeah, and Jen Psaki,
wow,
of course, is saying,
wow.
She said yesterday, hey, the president gets irritated when you guys don't stay on point. Like if he wants to talk about vaccines, then that's what he wants questions on. Don't ask him about other stuff when he's wanting to talk about vaccines or COVID.
Only ask him questions that he likes.
Or that he's taken part in like a cram session that morning. And he's ready to answer those questions. Oh my gosh, this is madness.
Do we have her thing ready? Where she's talking about...
oh, yeah, she's ready. They're ready to solve the border crisis, Pat. We need help from
Republicans to help out, for the love of Pete.
Help America.
Come on now.
But again, as it relates to Haiti, as it relates to our broken immigration system, the clear step that needs to be taken is an immigration bill needs to pass Congress. It's a broken system, one that is ineffective, one that is not moral in many cases at this point in time. It's long overdue. There are a lot of Republicans out there giving speeches about how outraged they are about the situation at the border. Not many who are putting forward solutions or steps that we could take. So we're a little tired of the speeches. We'd like to partner on solutions and working together to address this problem that has not been partisan in the past.
That is what. Tell me that time period. When was that? That the border situation wasn't partisan. It's always been. What are you talking about?
Do you have any suggestions at all?
Yeah, build the wall.
Build a
freaking wall.
Build a wall.
I have a suggestion. Let's build the wall.
Okay, but that's fine. But what we need from you, Pat, is we need a constructive suggestion.
Yeah, build a wall.
But we need something that we can work together on.
Yeah, we could work together on building a wall.
But we're trying to secure the nation, Pat. So what would you suggest?
I don't even care if it's a wall. It could be a fence, one of those double fences with the Border Patrol road through the middle of them, where the Border Patrol drives through there and monitors, and they've got this clear path, and you've got to get across two fences and the Border Patrol in order to get into our country. And where they've built a fence like that, for instance, San Diego, border crossings, illegal border crossings have dropped 98%.
Yeah.
98%.
And even when we write into the law, shall build
a wall or a fence. I think it was a fence in that particular case. We still didn't do it.
Still don't do it. By the way, you'll be happy to know that drug cartels have instructed the smugglers that are coming up to the border to put the Border Patrol in positions where they look bad, like the horses and the whipping that was happening because of the way Biden responded to them. And the way Biden said, they'll pay. There will be consequences. They will pay. And now the cartels are like, all right, so here's how we win the propaganda war with that.
Yep. We give them that. We give them that every single time. We give them that propaganda tool all the time. And they know just how to get to these stupid Democrats. Asinine. Jen Psaki also was confronted yesterday about the whips and the horses and told that, hey, you know what? We've got facts now, and the facts are that nobody was whipped. Here's that exchange.
The El Paso Times has walked back their claim that border agents were using whips to deter Haitian migrants. This is kind of a controversy. Some people are weighing what is a whip versus what is a rein. And the El Paso Times put out a clarification saying it was not an actual whip. Does that change?
Pause it for a second. Not only did they say it was not an actual whip, they said nobody was hit with them. This is even a dishonest question. Not only did they say they weren't whips, but nobody was actually whipped with the reins either. Don't try to split that hair and make that little distinction and pretend like they were whipping them with reins and they were just splitting hairs on whether it's a whip or reins. Because they were not hurt with anything the border agents were doing. Yeah, I just can't. So difficult to take this. But here's Psaki.
Does that change anything for the administration in light of the statements that were made last week?
I don't think anyone could look at those photos and think that was appropriate action or behavior or something that any reasonable should be person accepted within our administration. There's an investigation that's ongoing. We'll let that play out, but our reaction to the photos has not changed.
Has not changed. Okay, so the facts have changed nothing. Yeah, we're still going to stick with the fact that they whipped him. You don't think anybody could look at those photos and think that that was appropriate? Yeah, almost anyone could who had a brain in their head and knows that the border agents were doing their job, trying to keep illegals out of the country. They weren't coming here properly. And so it is their job to stop them, which is why they put the horses between the illegal immigrants and the United States of America. Evil people.
We're in a good place.
Man, we're in a great place. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Love it.
Awesome. I got something that can help make your life a little more awesome. It certainly has for us. Making content is an essential part of what we do, to keep this show going. But it's sometimes tough. We got all kinds of social posts to do, websites. We've got Facebook and Instagram and snapping things.
Chatting? Yeah, snapping, chatting things is where it's at.
And it can be really tough. But ever since discovering Canva Pro, we can design anything like professionals. Oh, and by the way, I guess we are professional. We do get paid to do this, don't we?
Technicality.
It's a technicality. It is. But designing with Canva Pro is amazingly fast and fun. And you can choose from thousands of templates that are easy to customize. Or you could start from scratch, too. They've got endless premium fonts, photos, videos, and so much more that add personality and an edge to whatever it is you're designing. This is such a great way to go. If you don't have any experience, Canva Pro walks you through the whole process and makes it super easy. Plus, you and 4 teammates can unlock everything Canva Pro has to offer for just $12.99 a month. Design like a pro with Canva Pro, C-A-N-V-A Pro, Canva Pro. Right now, you can get a free 45-day extended trial when you use my promo code. So just go to canva.me/unleashed. And get your free 45-day extended trial to start out. That's canva.me/unleashed. Canva.me/unleashed.
It's Pat and Gray Unleashed on the Blaze.
Welcome. By the way, please don't ask the president anything that he hasn't been talking about in the immediate past. Like, I only want to discuss things that we've been talking about for the last 30 seconds to a minute.
Yeah, because I can't be expected to remember something that somebody informed me about 2 days ago.
And you might piss me off because it might be a question I don't like.
Yeah.
So please be careful. Otherwise, we're going to have to start imprisoning you people. That's basically the message here. The other day, a little exchange between Biden and the Prime Minister of India. And it went a little something like this. Oh, they sat down at the same time. That was cute.
Do is bring in the press. The Indian press is much better behaved than the American press.
Wow.
I got to watch out. They'll knock one another down.
What?
Wow.
And I think, with your permission, we should not answer questions because they won't ask any questions on point.
Okay, did you catch all that? All right, so...
Oh, my gosh.
Says,
so the Indian press is way more behaved.
Better behaved.
Than the United States press.
Correct. And we're not going to take questions, though, because...
You're not on point.
Yeah. In fact, Psaki addressed this with the media, and she's like, hey, you better be asking the right stuff. I mean...
Okay.
All
right.
This
is amazing.
Can you and I hate this. I hate this fallback, but it's so true. We've always said, like during Obama, we said, can you imagine if Bush had said that? Can you imagine if Bush did that? They wouldn't let Bush get away with that. Well, now we're in the same boat with Trump. Can you imagine if Trump said that? What would the press be saying about Trump? Like literally, this right there would be the top story that Donald Trump said that we're not going to take questions because you're not asking the right ones.
Donald Trump wants to control the media. Donald Trump doesn't believe in the First Amendment. That's what we'd be getting. But instead, with Biden, silence, absolute silence and compliance.
We are out of words to describe the time that we live in.
Yes, we are. There's nothing in the English language
We're done.
do it justice. There's really not. We should look into Hebrew. Maybe there's something in Hebrew that we can express that is stronger than the words we use. I don't know. I'm going to look into that. Because it's just not adequate, right? English is not adequate. This is a mind-boggling situation. And they don't care. I mean, they just, because they know they're going to be treated with kid gloves, they don't care that they just tell you, look, we're sick of you asking questions we don't like. In fact, I'm not even going to answer them anymore. I'm not going to answer your questions.
Yeah.
Because I don't like them. And the foreign press, the Indian press over here, they're much better than you people.
Is it
because they're nicer to their prime minister?
Proper Hebrew to refer to the president as a schmuck? Does that?
That sounds like a proper Hebrew.
Yeah. We'll
yeah.
go with that.
Yeah. I'm not sure if schmuck is exactly Hebrew.
Oh, it's not?
No,
you don't think so?
I'm not sure. I'm not a linguist.
Yeah. Okay, well, I just called President Biden jewelry.
Jewelry?
Apparently in Hebrew is schmuck, which...
that doesn't seem appropriate.
I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, that doesn't seem appropriate. Apparently there's not a word in Hebrew either to describe
If I could go back
people.
30 seconds, I would not Google the word schmuck.
How weird. I didn't know that.
Right?
Isn't it Yiddish, though? I think it's schmuck is Yiddish.
Me. Okay.
Look and see if it's Yiddish.
Okay.
Because that doesn't seem right. You're not calling people jewelry when you use the word schmuck.
Right. Guy's a jewelry. Can't stand him.
That doesn't really
Yeah.
work.
No, apparently, according to Google, which is just the authority, right? I mean,
yes.
It's jewelry as well.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well,
It's disappointed.
I stand corrected.
I'm not going to lie. I was hoping it meant, I thought it did mean something completely different.
yeah, that doesn't seem like much of an insult.
I mean, look,
then.
even when we're trying to figure out ways to describe this guy and insult him, we're disappointed. I mean,
Yeah.
what's left? That hurt. Oh, yeah. I'm not.
So
no,
weird.
I'm not going to Urban Dictionary to look up ways to describe Joe Biden, Rob. But thank you.
Those would be a few things that we probably can't
Right.
mention on the air.
That's plumbing it.
There we go. We'll do that. OAB. That's Joe.
Oh yeah, old ass bum.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In there. Okay. That works. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Could be worse though. We could be living in Australia.
Oh.
Australia has, for all intents and purposes, left the Western world. Yeah. And this is really amazing stuff. They're going door to door talking to people about whether or not they're involved in protests. Check this out. I'm so glad this guy started recording these police officers who showed up at his house because I guess they suspected him of being at a protest.
So he's not at a protest. He's at his house.
He's at his house.
What is happening?
Check out this interrogation of him at his doorstep.
We'll film as well. So, like I said, still on camera, yeah? Open our conversation.
So I'll just let you know, just because it's my camera that's going, so I'm Sergeant Hawthorne from Northwest Met OSG. As you're recording, we're recording as well. Everything's being done visually and also audio on the body-worn camera.
No worries. What's your name? Baker. Thanks, man.
So they're recording and so is he.
Thanks, mate.
Mate, what we're here for is obviously just in relation to the recent protests that are popping up and whatnot, and actually just here to do welfare checks and whatnot. You're planning on going in?
I didn't know there's anything going on.
None of your freaking business.
Any planned protests that you may know of?
Not as far as I know.
Huh.
It's a complete surprise when the cops are here. I'm like, before.
Yeah, no stress. Just a friendly chat, that's all.
Pause it for a second. No,
planned
I'm sorry. This is not a friendly chat. You're stopping by the guy's house and asking him about protests he's attended, or if he knows of protests, or if you're going to attend one in the future. Wow.
Yeah.
What?
None ya.
It's none of your business, first of all.
Oh, my.
First of all, the guy is handling it a lot better than I would be.
Yeah.
He's actually being pretty pleasant to them. He's probably afraid of being, beaten and dragged to jail.
Oh, that doesn't happen in Australia.
No, that doesn't. No, that usually 70-year-old women are the ones who get beaten.
Yeah.
And taken
He's
to
obviously
jail.
not.
He's not a 70-year-old woman. Let's see the rest of this.
So are you aware of any planned protests or events
No.
that are coming up, Jeff?
Nope.
Wow.
No? Okay. Are you aware of any communication circling around between people about the planned any protests coming up?
No.
No? Do you use any platform at all or to communicate?
None of your
Have you
business.
got any protests in the past?
No, I'm not going to answer that.
You haven't?
Not going to answer.
You guys wouldn't be here otherwise.
All right.
I'd like to know how you got this address, actually.
Okay. Anything else you...
No, answer that. Answer it.
like to tell us that might help ensure the public safety?
Get off my lawn.
Nah, it's all good. As long as you guys aren't running around shooting people with rubber bullets like down in Victoria, we're all good.
Uh-huh.
That's also the reason why, like, they're concerned with what's happening down in Victoria, that it doesn't then escalate and come up.
Yeah, of course.
So,
Yeah.
you know, just making sure your safety, our safety, everyone's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always for your safety.
Nothing, you're happy.
Sure.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, man.
All right, guys.
Have a good night.
See you
Take
later.
care.
Bye-bye.
Chilling. That's absolutely chilling. Have you been to any protests? You know about any protests? Hey, are you on any social media? What kind of platforms do you use? Who do you talk to when we're not around?
Huh.
Like, what are your phone conversations?
Yeah.
Who are your friends?
Yeah, who are you texting?
You know any Jews?
Oh. Huh.
Isn't that the next
Sure.
step?
Absolutely.
This is just unbelievably spine-tingling.
And whenever you're watching these videos out of Australia, just remember that is a disarmed society. Let's see what happens when they actually catch you at the protest.
Right.
Roll tape. Go.
Well, we've seen when you're at a protest, what they were talking about was the Victoria situation.
Yep. Oh, look at this. This guy made the mistake. See,
getting the
the
crap
guy
beat out of it.
that you just played got lucky because they didn't catch up to him till he was at home. Right?
Look at they're driving his face into the pavement.
There we go. That's what you get for...
for being at a protest.
Uh-huh. All right. What's the next video? Let's play the next video now. Oh, look at
There we
that.
go.
This guy made the mistake of protesting, too.
Bastard.
Stop showing
This will teach him.
How are you meant to calm down?
You'll think twice before you come to another protest, won't you?
And get your sandwich out of the camera shot, lady. I'm tired of seeing it.
500 meters that way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this guy wasn't a protest. This guy was outside of his designated you're allowed to be zone.
Watch me.
Oh,
yeah.
Spreading COVID all over the place. Oh, he got what he deserved right there, didn't he?
Yeah. When we ask you, where do you
Not
live?
returning his own. He lives a block away.
He lives a block
Yeah.
away.
If you're outside the zone,
You can't be a block away from
you're
it.
coming with us.
In his pocket, he was just smoking a cigarette. He just came to get lunch with me. Oh, what do you mean? I've been living here this whole time. What do you mean?
I'm telling you,
wow,
ladies and gentlemen, Australia's
gone.
It's a test case. They are pushing the limits to see what they can get away with in a quote free society. All right, we're done with this, and this is sad.
Wow.
I mean, this is just.
Do we have the one
precursor
where the woman gets knocked flat on her back and then they spray the pepper spray right in her face last week? 70-year-old woman just standing there in the street. She's knocked flat on her back, and then the guy bends over and sprays her with pepper spray right in her face.
Well, I know that
Crazy.
hopefully when we come back from the break, we can play a little something. If you'll recall, remember when OAB, President Biden, when he referred to, remember that the fella down under, remember that? When he screwed that up, talking about Scott Morrison, the Prime Minister of Australia. And I had mentioned at the time, it was so ironic what that guy said. He spends the next 2 minutes talking about freedom and Australia and all this stuff, and it was just laughable. It was the kind of stuff that we would just dissect and rip apart if we were doing a show in Australia. Well, until they came and hauled us away like that. But somebody took that speech and had some fun with it that I think after the break you will greatly enjoy.
All right. Get to that next on Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Things not exactly going swimmingly in Australia right now. We're talking about the Australian Prime Minister who was with Biden. Was it last week or the week before? Biden said, well, he was on a video screen actually, and Biden said, and my friend from the fellow down under.
You got it.
The fella down under. And then the fella down under started talking about freedom and democracy. Okay. Is that what you've got going on right now in Australia? Freedom and democracy? Wow. So somebody took those words and added some images to show you just how free and democratized they are.
We are a proud liberal democracy. We believe in a world order that favours freedom and that supports the dignity and free expression of all people. We believe in human rights, in gender equality and the rule of law, and we back that up with how we pursue these things in our own country, in our own society, and how we raise our own children. Australia was one of 8 countries only involved in the drafting of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And we continue to strengthen the international human rights system.
Isn't that great? Sure.
And we will continue to raise our voice on important issues like the rights of women and girls.
There she is.
The rights of Indigenous peoples. Because respecting the rights and freedoms of the individual is intrinsically important. It is fundamental to our values as a people and as a nation.
This is just fascism.
It lifts all societies and nations too, delivering better outcomes through economic inclusion.
So if you get vaccinated, there will be special rules that apply to you.
Women's empowerment, environmental sustainability, rising living standards, and so much more. Australians' actions are guided by our belief in the inherent dignity of all people. No matter the circumstances. Mr. President, we learned through the pandemic that every moment of challenge requires us to think anew, to engage with each other, to learn as you go. It is an experience understood by many others.
Yeah.
And so we will continue to meet this moment with dialogue.
Wow.
Shooting. That's dialogue right there. Shooting rubber bullets in the backs of protesters.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Wow.
Freedom has cost too much blood and agony to be relinquished at the cheap price of rhetoric. Thomas Sowell.
Woo-wee. Wow. And when it goes this haywire over something like COVID-19, that's all it takes to flush everything he said right down the toilet. That's all it took? Wow.
Imagine if there were a real crisis happening.
Imagine if we had a serious pandemic of, I don't know, smallpox or Ebola or something new that somebody released into our system, some biological weapon, or if China really threatens Australia. You know, we just signed that pact with them. And I just read this interesting article because of everything that's going on in Australia. And the topic was, why are we helping a fascist regime with nuclear submarines? That's an interesting question.
Yeah, right?
Be hard-pressed to come up with the answer, actually.
Probably going to end up being on the side of China one day, defending them from Australia. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
And you know how it's, the saying is, never let a crisis go to waste. Rahm Emanuel.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, never let a crisis go to waste. And if it's not a crisis, make it a crisis.
Oh, they've done a brilliant job of that.
We have gone from 15 days to flatten the curve to better get the shot if you want to still feed your family.
Right.
I mean, it's ridiculous. And now, did you hear this quote from Biden? What's the percentage now that we're going to need vaccinated if we're ever going to get back to normal? And when you are forcing people to get vaxxed in this country, that's not normal on any level. But what do you think the magic number is now to get vaxxed, according to the old-ass bum in there, Joe Biden?
I don't know, because the actual number is what, 70%? Aren't we
Sure.
70%, 67 or 70% fully vaccinated?
Not anymore.
No?
The old-ass bum in there got his third booster shot yesterday.
Did he?
He said now we're at, we got to get 97 to 98% of Americans vaxxed if we're ever going to get back to normal. Screw you.
97 to 98%.
Yeah.
Well, that's not going to happen, period. That just isn't going to happen. There's no way. There's absolutely no way.
I mean,
even with forcing people to do it, even with threatening with their jobs, you're still not going to get to 97%. No way. Wow. Did he say that yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
I completely missed that.
Yeah.
97 to 98%. Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, but they think that they can just jam it down our throats, and they can force us to do it. And they're enlisting their fellow Americans, our neighbors, to put the pressure on us and to force us to do it too. Because they've made it seem like we're murderers if we don't comply. If you don't comply, you're literally trying to kill them.
Yeah.
That's really how they've made this argument, how they've shaped it.
But you're exactly right. Our society was already ripe for the picking as far as being divided on fill in the blank issue. And now the way they are using each of us against each other, in making this into the crisis to control us. I mean, look at Australia, man. And what is the difference? How is it not happening here? What's happening in Australia? It's the fact that there are 400 million firearms owned by private citizens in this country. The Second Amendment. You whether you like guns, afraid of guns, whatever, you should be grateful for the Second Amendment, or else you would be going through Australia right now. That's what would be happening here, period. Especially in places like New York, where the governor just took over the healthcare system last night. It just replaced workers that don't want to get the vax, National Guard. I mean, it's insanity. I cannot believe the stuff that we're talking about.
Yeah, and if it's not the COVID nightmare, it's the racial nightmare, or it's the cancel culture thing. I mean, we're going through so many things all at once that it makes it a real challenge right now to keep hold of everything that our founding fathers built here. Got a tweet from Brad Meltzer that kind of caught our attention. He tweeted, "Unreal. We missed it because there were so many other books out there. But Central York School Board also banned our I Am Martin Luther King Jr. book.
Gosh.
When you're banning Dr. King and Rosa Parks, you're on the wrong side of history. Thanks." By the way, Brad Meltzer's going to join us in about 3 weeks to talk about his new stuff. But they banned his book, I Am Martin Luther King Jr., for the kids. Why would you?
I don't know.
Do that.
I don't know why.
So weird.
And it's an inspirational story about his life for kids to get into MLK. And oh my.
Really weird.
So weird.
Christie's is selling an NFT, the non-fungible token, featuring a white man being auctioned as a slave. That's going to be sold at Christie's. Oh, there it is. He's standing on a box.
You buying that? Did you already bid?
Not yet, but
It's on your to-do list?
Yeah. Because I only have 7. Oh, it starts in 7 days. The bidding starts in 7 days?
Yeah.
Okay, so, I'm excited about that.
You're going to have to, the way these things work.
Save up my money.
You're going to have to register all of your information over the next week, and then you're going to have a week to bid, or I don't know how long you're going to have to bid.
Okay.
But I know you're in it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
It was immediately clear it would be a major artwork, both for its contemporary and historical commentary, as well as the fascinating combination of disciplines, according to Barrett White of Christie's. White Man for Sale is the creation of artist provocateur Dred Scott. Okay. That's good.
That's his artsy name.
Yeah. The work consists of a 70-second looped video showing an average-looking white man in a white button-down shirt and black pants, expressionless, standing on an auction block in the middle of a busy Brooklyn intersection. Wow, that's really powerful. Black pedestrians wearing coronavirus masks passing by. The scene was shot at Flatbush and Church Avenues. Good. The White Man for Sale NFT makes the medium itself an inherent and essential part of the consensual project. I was just about to say that.
I think Rob, TV's Rob down the hall, is going to eventually make a Pat Gray NFT.
Oh, okay.
You'll be into that, right?
Oh, sure.
Little non-fungible token.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that's great. That's exciting to see.
Don't forget to register so that you can bid when the time comes.
Right. Yeah, that's a really good point. We got so much more that you just can't even believe. We'll get to that in just a second. But first, let me tell you about Built Bars. If you like a good snack throughout the day, you get hungry or you're just craving something delicious, then Built Bars are a great way to go because you can eat them without all of the guilt factor that sets in with candy bars. These taste like candy bars, but they're good for you. They're only 180 calories or less. They're 18 grams of protein, 4 to 5 grams of sugar, and just 4 to 5 net carbs. So you don't have to feel bad about eating them. Amazing flavors like coconut and mint brownie, double chocolate, salted caramel, cookies and cream, the Rocky Road. People absolutely love these bars. They're great. And you can get them quickly. Again, they took out the really tedious BAR at the end. You don't have to type anymore into the URL. Just go to built.com. BUILT.com. Use the promo code PAT15 and you'll save 15% off your first order. That's promo code PAT15 for 15% off at built.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
A California school district has agreed to change their logo because
hate. Because hate, right?
Because hate.
Okay.
Yes.
There's your title today, boys. Daniel. Because hate.
You know, this is in Santa Maria, California, and they've decided to replace a logo that depicts the Santa Maria. You know, the largest of the 3 Spanish ships used by Christopher Columbus.
That's a good trivia question.
Nina, Pinta, Santa Maria.
So that was the biggest one.
Yeah.
All right.
Although the town has no connection to Columbus, the Santa Maria City Council unanimously voted to change the design of the official city seal from 1971 to include a representation of Columbus's flagship, the Santa Maria. The school district informally followed suit eventually. According to the Santa Maria Times, now 50 years later, the Santa Maria Joint Union High School District is taking the first steps toward changing the logo that several students and community members say is reminiscent of shameful history of genocide and violence against indigenous people at the hands of the Italian explorer. Several students and community members, not hundreds or thousands or millions.
Great point.
Several.
And we say this, you actually can make a difference. They don't need a lot of people rattling the cage.
Right. Christopher Columbus did not commit genocide. He did not order anybody to commit genocide. The outlet reported the district board agreed to cease production of any new representations of the ship logo on business cards, mastheads, or other district supplies that have traditionally featured the image. Oh, thank goodness. Now there's going to be peace in Santa Maria, California, finally.
Yeah, because they finally got around to changing the letterhead of the school.
Yes,
okay,
that's going to make a huge difference in the lives of several people who now won't be offended by it. Several. Okay, it wasn't just one, probably not even 2. It could be 3, but, several might mean 4 or 5.
Could have been.
You don't know.
The count could have been as high as 5. You're right.
It could have been as high as 5 people. Now, if it was like 6, then you'd go, well, half a dozen people.
Sure.
So we know it's not that because they didn't say half a dozen.
I
They
see what
said
you're saying.
several.
I like how you deduce facts. So we're between 3 and 5.
Between 3 and 5 people.
And a couple of them were kind of on the fence. So can you really count them?
No.
It was probably more like 3.
Probably 3 people were pissed off.
2 of them just showed up because they had free refreshments.
The Santa Maria ship on the logo of the paper that maybe the school district would send out.
The letterheads.
Oh,
masthead
kind
or
of
whatever.
stuff.
Yeah.
Business cards, perhaps.
But now all the problems are fixed.
Completely solved.
Now, are they fixed for everybody everywhere or just in that little town?
No, just in that little town.
Oh.
Yeah,
so,
just those 3 people who were pissed off about it.
So think globally, act locally, and you can get the Santa Maria taken off of stationery.
Exactly. Jeez. What a world! I do like this, though. A Florida teacher telling her class that a student is racist because he brought a Trump flag and Trump brings out racism in trashy people. Check this out and watch the student stick up for the kid.
I love it.
Crap. Do you want to know why he brought? Do you want to know why he brought the Trump flag in? Why? So I'm going to say it's politically correct to make a lot of the African American kids mad. That was his motive. Do you support him now?
So he's racist.
Yes. And then everyone here supporting him. Free Colton.
His best friend is black.
His best friend is black.
Fake news.
Wow.
Are you calling Trump racist?
Trump brings out racism.
I don't care.
And trafficking.
Guys, the border, get out of here. Bro, sure.
Wow. There's some kids standing up for their friend.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And apparently they'd been supporting him because there was a Free Colton movement.
I love that.
School.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic.
That's my life goal. I mean, it doesn't have a good ring to it because, the name Keith doesn't roll off the tongue. It doesn't work well. But
Yeah.
I want to be a part of like a Free Keith movement. Something like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So,
All right.
The
gotta
day
save
will
this.
come. The day will come.
When there's a Free Keith movement?
Yeah. It's happening.
Well, I know there'll be a need for one. We'll see if it actually arises, though.
Yeah. Wait. Hold on a second.
Wait.
That didn't
No.
That
what?
didn't sound like you were really going to
sorry,
be there
what?
for me.
No, what?
I can.
I forget what we were talking about. I don't even know what led to that.
I can get a road built. Will you take that?
There's no way. There's
No,
too
I'm gonna
many
get it
other-
done.
Too many other projects going on right now.
How about between your house and the gulag I will be in?
I'd love to see that happen, but I don't
look at
think
that.
so.
Look at that. Rob made me a hashtag. Hashtag Free Keith.
Oh, nice.
Now I just got to do something to
Did
get
it
behind
quickly,
bars.
too. All right, 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Thanks for being with us. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Talking about all these really uniting racial issues happening in our country right now, where you've got teachers berating students, like junior high school students, because they wear Trump hats to school, and then she feels justified in bashing the student to the point where the kids in class are defending this kid. Amazing. Then we have a couple of clips from this interesting get-together at Arizona State University.
Get-together.
Apparently, students of color were, doing some kind of little get-together, and white students happened upon it.
Yeah, so this is like the, this is like a study area for minorities? This is like a multicultural
little segregated space where Hispanics can hang out?
That's the word.
Okay.
Uh-oh, white kids are
Yeah.
What's happening?
You have a better. You're offensive. Police lives matter.
Yeah.
We're just trying to do school.
What?
You guys have the same sticker of the other.
But this is our space.
We've got a police lives matter sticker and we're getting kicked out. Can't do school. You just said we have to leave.
No, I said you're making the space uncomfortable. But you're white. Do you understand what a multicultural space? It means you're not being centered.
White's not a culture.
No, it's not a culture. It's white is not a culture. Say it again to the camera.
What a
You think
racist.
whiteness is a culture?
This is insane.
What the hell?
So anyways, this is the violence
think
that ASU does, and this is the type of people that they protect. Okay, this white man thinks he can take up our space, and this is
Wow.
why we need a multicultural space, because they think they can get away with it.
I'm gonna sit here the whole time and you can find somebody to kick me.
That's cool. We
We're
will.
not kicking you out. We're asking you to leave if you
No.
have any consideration for people of color and are marginalized.
I don't, actually. Sorry.
Yeah, the whole rest of the campus.
If I'm being
the
honest.
the second floor, the first floor, the whole MU, every single part of the campus centers you. This is the only
Centers
space
you?
that
What?
you're not
These
centered,
phrases.
and you're still trying to center yourself, which is peak white cis male bullshit.
Wow. What a racist she is. What a
You are
hideous
racist. Your sticker is racist because police, that's a job. You can choose to be a police. I don't choose to be black.
And this goes on and on. Is this all we showed? Wow. Is this the extent of the clip? Let's play part 2. I mean, this goes on for 8-9 minutes.
Wow.
And now we'll see who ASU prioritizes: students of color in our only room in this campus are white cis men who are threatening black students by saying police lives matter.
Threatening.
Oh, that is unbelievable.
That doesn't matter. Can you leave? No. Okay, you don't want to leave? That's fine.
Perfect. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm not.
Cool, stay there then. And we're saying this is a multicultural space. You're making us uncomfortable, and you're saying you don't want to go. What? You're saying you don't
Apparently,
wanna
it's
go.
not multicultural
You're not a minority.
because you're not allowing the white kids to be there.
Yeah, tell us about your culture.
Wow.
What's white culture? Stealing things from people?
Oh my God.
You like the air conditioning there in the desert of Arizona?
Colonization, theft, occupation.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Wow! He just said America's one of the most unracist countries, and this is what we mean about who are you centering? Who are you centering?
Black people in the times of racism.
Don't speak
my
Well, you don't even.
There's no difference in what you do bullying me in this place than what happened in the times of racism.
We didn't bully you. We asked you to leave.
We didn't bully you.
You came over here and said that I'm offending.
Bro, you can do your work anywhere in the
There's no reasoning with these people.
No.
They're just flat out insane. There's no reasoning. They hate the country. They hate white people. I mean, anyways.
Another day of trying to defend this space.
Feel better by making your group less diverse. Doesn't make sense.
Oh wow.
Is it really pause it for a second? Is this space set aside for segregation? Are they supposed to just be Hispanics and blacks in that area? And then the whites are not allowed to be there? I wonder if that's a real thing. Is that a thing, or do they just make it a thing in their minds?
Well, campi? I don't know. Schools have multicultural centers.
Yeah.
But I've never heard of. Seriously, if you were a campus and you weren't allowing any race of any,
seems like discrimination to me. Right. If multicultural should mean that you accept multicultures, right, or different kinds of people. So you would accept blacks and Hispanics as well as white people, and the white people could be there as well. If you're multi, and apparently you're not. Apparently you're minority only.
Yeah, let's see. So
and the hatred for this country
sure.
shining through,
right,
with them.
And
that's great.
And the representative there from Arizona, Paul Gosar, he said that state and federal money pay for these buildings. They're open to all students, including white students. I love Arizona State, but this needs to stop. Yeah, and sure I need to learn the word centering. I'm not familiar because I'm white.
Yeah.
So
you're white and you're stupid and you don't have a culture. That's the thing about you, Whitey. You don't have a culture.
I find it so ironic that they're in Arizona State University. They're in Phoenix, Arizona, in the middle of the desert. Let's talk about what whites have done for your comfort level inside that building. And while we're at it, and we're not just talking about air conditioning, let's talk about higher education and how Western culture created that. Another place that you're standing while you're babbling about this. And she says, like, another day of having to defend this space. I mean, those chicks just hang out there. They're probably not even going to class. They're just hanging out there like guard dogs for white kids coming in there.
Yeah,
it's so pathetic, and it's just.
It's nice to know too that Hispanics and blacks have culture, but white people don't.
No.
That's good to know. I didn't realize we have no culture. Huh? Wow. Really? So, and America is just a hateful, racist nation, and white people have not contributed at all to any of it, and. You can't even mention police officers or think that their lives are valuable.
I'm surprised they didn't rip on the Chick-fil-A cup and bag that were with the two white kids there, right, as well. Now, one thing, I don't know if it was in those clips or if it was just muffled there, all the goings on. If you listen to it, the chick actually says, that's one thing we agree on. And you know what it was? It was the guy's shirt that said, I didn't vote for Joe Biden. So that crazy freak of nature radical chick inside that center just said, I didn't vote for Joe Biden either. But 81 million Americans did. Got it. Okay. You can't get that chick to vote for Joe Biden? Come on. Stop it.
Was it Jill Stein? Was she the alternative here?
Isn't she usually?
Was that 2016? I think so. Or 2020. Was that last year or was that 2016? I don't know.
I can't remember.
But
and that's Arizona.
She didn't vote for Trump.
One of those suspect states. Oh, nice audit last week too. Let's see. Joe Biden. Oh, Joe Jorgensen was the Libertarian. Who is Howie Hawkins? Is that your Green Party? What?
Howie Hawkins. That's
Howie
probably who she voted
Hawkins.
For. She probably didn't vote for anybody. She probably didn't vote. It would be more like it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sure.
Oh my gosh. Here's Howie Hawkins from the 2020 campaign. Here's this big quote on Ballotpedia. We can't wait on Trump, the racist incompetent, or Biden, the neoliberal hawk, to fight for the needs of the working class. We need our own political voice. We need our own independent power. We need a hashtag eco-socialist Green New Deal.
Oh, wow.
Howie Hawkins, 2020.
Wish I would have known about that.
Right? I feel like
Talk
a
about
fool.
Inspired. Wow.
I feel like an idiot. I didn't even
How
look
did we
for...
not know about Howie?
Was Howie Hawkins even on the Texas ballot? I feel like that was taken from me. I've been disenfranchised.
I don't think he was. I don't know. I don't remember. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Well, the guy who was voted into office was getting another vaccine shot yesterday. This is his third now. So Biden got the booster. Let's see, he got vaccinated when? Was it January? Mm-hmm. And so already yesterday he receives his booster. I guess that's about the right time frame. So as he's getting the booster shot that he got yesterday, he decided to babble about how many people must be vaccinated in this country before we don't have any problems.
So they put the placebo in.
How many Americans need to be vaccinated for us to go back to normal? Like, what is the percentage?
What percentage do we need vaccinated to get back to normal?
Well, I think,
Look.
I think we get the vast majority, like is going on in some industries and some schools, 97, 98%. I think we're awful close.
97.
But I'm not the scientist. I think, but one thing for certain, a quarter of the country can't go unvaccinated, and us not continue to have a problem.
Okay, so we can't have 25% of people not vaccinated.
And not continue to have a problem.
Huh.
End quote.
All right.
So it's 97, 98%. I think we'll get awful close.
97.
But I'm not the scientist.
98.
Good Coldplay song. I think one thing is for certain. A quarter of the country can't go unvaccinated and us not continue to have a problem, end quote. Terrifying.
That bodes well for the future, doesn't it? That bodes well. I mean, seriously, they're not going to stop until you can't function in society without the vaccination.
Yep.
And they're going to see to it that you can't have a job, that you can't go shopping, that you can't go in public. You can't go to restaurants. You can't go to sporting events. They've already outlawed concerts. Concerts are almost exclusively for those who are vaccinated. So, I mean, they're going to keep narrowing the field of what you can enjoy and where you can go if you're not vaccinated.
What do you think the odds are that he actually got the booster in that shot with the chick putting a needle in his arm?
No, I think he did.
You do?
Yeah, I think.
See, I think actually what they did is this was the first time they pulled back the curtain and showed us getting his dementia shot, and they just like, yeah, it's the booster, y'all. We can kill two birds with one stone here. That's what was happening.
Mm-hmm. Maybe, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I mean,
it's frustrating.
What an incredibly fast spiral. It's like every hour of every day. There are no more slow news days, right? That's gone. We don't even use that phrase in the business anymore.
Yeah, not for some time now.
I want a slow news afternoon for once.
That'd be nice, yeah. But then you got Biden, the president of the United States, saying 97 or 98% people have to be vaccinated in order to eat pudding.
Mm-mm.
I got my third shot so I can have pudding now.
Oh, yeah. That's how they bribe you.
A lot of people can't have pudding. We can't have 25. A quarter of the people won't get pudding. They won't. You can't have it.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay.
Going to be ineligible for pudding.
Yeah, I don't want to be ineligible for pudding.
Yeah, but you are.
Well,
you don't have a vaccination.
Hold on, but
shot.
Well, this is the first time I heard that pudding was
Let
on the
alone
line.
3. Yeah, it is. I'm making that decree now.
Oh.
I just signed an executive order that says no pudding unless you have a vaccination card.
Wait a minute. You've taken the Counting Crows concert away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're taking pudding away from me, too?
It's gone.
This sucks.
You can't have any. Then get vaccinated. That's all.
My body, my choice.
So easy. So easy. Well, you choose not to have pudding then.
Seriously, you choose not to have pudding then. Oh,
that's right.
Sucks for you.
You know, I mean, still a free country.
I will proudly be in the 2 or 3% that Joe Biden is expecting to be holdouts on the vaccine. So, hashtag free Keith. That's when it'll come into play.
Yeah.
When I'm one of the last 2%.
And you can't go anywhere or do anything.
Oh, I'm not going to be the richest 1%. That's never happening.
No,
but I'll be the
unvaccinated
1%.
Yes. That'll be good.
Yes, life goals.
Yeah. All right. All right. Let me tell you about Patriot Mobile. Not so long ago, companies solely existed to provide products and services and maybe make some money doing it. Customers spent money in return for a product or service. Well, almost overnight, everything changed. Many corporations have become vessels for anti-American and anti-family propaganda. Few companies have had the courage to stand up for America and Americans, for Christian values in our Constitution. And one of the first was Patriot Mobile, and they continue to do it today. Patriot Mobile has the broadest nationwide coverage. They use the same towers, of course, as all the major carriers. There's only so many towers. So you get the same great service, plus they have plans to fit any budget and a 100% U.S.-based customer service team. That's the best in the business, the highest rating among wireless carriers. More importantly, Patriot Mobile shares your values, and so you don't have to worry about them giving to Planned Parenthood. They're never going to do that. They're going to fight for religious freedom and for life, for the Constitution, and for veterans and first responders. Go to patriotmobile.com/Pat, or you can call 972-PATRIOT. Get free activation when you use the offer code PAT. They also have special discounts for veterans and first responders. Support a company that loves America and the Constitution and you. PatriotMobile.com/Pat. That's PatriotMobile.com/Pat or 972-PATRIOT.
Pat Gray returns on the Blaze Radio Network.
Just one more racial note on how well things are going. Dallas ISD. That's Dallas Independent School District. They're no longer going to suspend students from school because not enough white kids were being suspended. So, yeah, they stopped. It's great. We're trying to address something that's been going on for a long time, the Dallas ISD coordinator said. And apparently the data shows that prior to the pandemic, of students placed in out-of-school suspension, 52% were African American, 44% were Hispanic, 2.4% were white. So that's not nearly enough. Now, we've been told that good behavior is white supremacy. So maybe this is as it's supposed to be. The white supremacists are behaving well. Is that what's going on? I don't know. I don't know. There could be a number of factors here. But not enough whiteys are being suspended, so we're not going to suspend anymore. Okay. All right. Oh, that's great.
My word.
What a world. What a world. I love this story, too. The FBI had an informant in the crowd, probably many of them, but this particular one was embedded with the Proud Boys.
Oh, what did this guy see, huh? A lot of
wait till you hear.
Insurrectionist plotting going on?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, I can't wait to hear the deets on this.
The report said the secret informer was a member of the Proud Boys and revealed that the group, quote,
here we go,
had no plans to engage in violence, unquote.
That doesn't compute.
And there were no pre-planned discussions of storming the U.S. Capitol.
Okay, this doesn't fit the narrative, bro.
No, I know. I know it. Why is he saying this stuff? Probably because it's true. The informant, who was not identified, was affiliated with the Midwest chapter of the Proud Boys and began working with the FBI in July 2020. The informer, who was part of a group chat of other Proud Boys, shared a detailed account of his activities. On the eve of the attack, the records show the informant said that the group had no plans to engage in violence the next day, except to defend itself from potential assaults from leftists.
No, you can't be doing that, though. Just got to take it.
Right. You should just, you turn the other cheek. That's what you do. The informant notes Proud Boys leaders gave explicit orders to maintain a defensive posture on January 6th. Huh. That doesn't really fit.
Yeah, again.
With what we're trying to say here. He also said he never heard any discussion that day about stopping the electoral college process.
Wow. How did this guy? This guy's already been terminated or given a desk job,
or killed,
How did this report get filed, where it became a matter of record? I want to know.
That's a good question. Why are we just now hearing about it?
Yeah,
why didn't this come out on January 7th? By the way, nobody was planning that. It just kind of happened. Yeah, and it happened because you had a bunch of douchebags in there firing up the crowd. Probably douchebags on the right and left.
Mostly left.
Probably true. Mostly probably Antifa. I don't know.
Excuse me, what was that?
Antifa? I'm sorry, I have a little tickle in my throat.
Oh.
Antifa.
You probably have the COVID.
Probably. Jeez.
You can't sneeze anywhere, by the way. That's illegal now.
That's for sure.
And don't cough. Don't sneeze.
You get stink eye if you sneeze or cough anywhere.
Do you find yourself telling every medical professional you come in contact with? Well, maybe you don't, but it's like, yeah, and this is going on. I had COVID in December of 2020. All right, so let's get that off the table.
I've not said that because I haven't had it.
That was the point that I made in setting up this conversation. But it's like everything is through the lens of COVID, and I bet you have the COVID. Have you been tested for COVID and blah, blah, blah.
Everywhere you go. Stop. If you're going anywhere in person, they want to know all that stuff. And I haven't had it. No. Have I been vaccinated? No.
Then you're hell, you're a leper. Quite frankly, at this point.
I know.
Like me, I'm a leper, period. But with me, at least I can just quickly tuck in that I've had it. Leave me alone. I've had it. You know, if this were, stop and think for a moment. These vaccination cards, these passports, New York City, New York State, so many other places. If this were at all about your health and the health of your fellow citizens, don't you think this little card would have a spot to say, I tested positive for the antibodies? No, it's not about your health. That would be a keystone to all of this if it were.
Especially since they've found natural immunity is better than the vaccine. It's better. So there's that.
It's all about control.
Sure is. And that's why Kathy Hochul was saying there's no excuses. She don't want to hear any of your excuses in New York. The new governor says, get the shot and shut up. Here's what she had to say yesterday.
My default position is to ask people, please do this. This is why. It's been proven to be safe. The vaccine's been out there a long time now. There are not legitimate religious exemptions because the leaders of all the organized religions have said there's no legitimate reason, and we're going to win that in court in a matter of days. And so this is so unnecessary.
Yes, leave us alone.
I just want to appeal to the individuals to know that, you know, your coworkers want you to do this.
I don't care.
Don't make the burden heavier on them as well.
Okay. She also had this to say.
Scary
And
stuff.
we'll be nation leading with our mandate, which strikes at midnight tonight when everyone is expected in a hospital in the state of New York or a healthcare facility to have been vaccinated. I will be signing an executive order to give me the emergency powers necessary to address the shortages where they occur. That's going to allow me to deploy the National Guard, who are medically trained, deploy people who've been retired, who may have had a license lapse, bring in people from elsewhere.
Unlicensed
that is not
coming
my
in to
first
replace.
position, though, my friends. My desire is to have the people who've been out there continue to work in their jobs, work in them safely, and to all the other healthcare workers who are vaccinated, they also deserve to know that the people they're working with will not get them sick.
Yeah, they deserve that. So get vaccinated and shut your mouth. All right? Shut up.
Pat Gray. Pat Gray is here.
Good news for Afghanistan. They've got a new generation of Taliban. Or Taliban.
There you go.
I guess. They've put forth an order prohibiting barbershops in parts of Afghanistan from shaving or trimming men's beards. So it's illegal now in parts of Afghanistan to trim your beard. Yeah, because they contend that the rule conforms to Sharia law. So, sorry, you can't get your beard trimmed or shaved off. Wow. Because this is a new and better, new and improved Taliban. This is not your big brother's Taliban. This is a new and improved Taliban. They're a kinder, gentler Taliban. They're not hanging people from bridge overpasses. They're hanging people from cranes. It's way different than before. So
sadly, I've thought of this with Afghanistan, that if you're hiding from them and trying to get out of the country, if you're a dude, you're just kind of hiding out until your facial hair can grow.
Yeah.
At this point.
You should.
Now you're like, okay,
seriously,
is it long enough now? I can maybe make a run for it.
Make sure it's long and skanky.
Yes.
And you wear a bathrobe or whatever when you leave, and you're fine.
And flirt with goats.
Yes.
And that'll be a dead giveaway. You're one of them.
Exactly.
You're of the Taliban.
Right. Another little tidbit. The shooter of President Ronald Reagan.
Oh, yeah.
John Hinckley has won his unconditional release.
Unreal.
Is that amazing? This is the second assassin in the last couple of months to be I don't think they've set Sirhan free yet. But they can because he's been granted parole. They just haven't let him loose.
Yeah, there's still a process. Newsom has to sign something. And like in the case of Hinckley, he will be released by June of 2022.
Okay. Wow. Jeez.
We're taking.
He's 66 now, by the way. Sirhan is 77. So they've both been in a long time. I mean, Sirhan, 53 years, but he killed Bobby Kennedy.
Right.
You would think that'd be a life sentence, wouldn't you?
Especially when you're a nation that, in theory, sees our election process as so sacred.
Yeah.
In theory. And so you would think that someone that would jeopardize that they would be locked away forever, in theory.
Yes. You would think that you would try to, discourage assassins, if you will, by ascribing harsh penalties and sticking to them. But to let these guys go now, I don't know. That's amazing to me. That is amazing. Ronald Reagan, yes, he recovered, but he almost died from that. That was touch and go for a while.
Have you ever spent a moment, especially with the chaos and turmoil that we are suffering right now as a nation, have you ever thought about the trajectory of this nation and what it would have been if he had indeed died like he almost did 3 months into his presidency?
Yeah.
I can't even fathom where this country is today without the 8 years of Ronald Reagan.
Yeah. Because it would have been 8 years of H.W. Bush. That would not have been the same. That would not have been the same. Get out the bushes, as Jesse Jackson once said. Get out the bushes.
And so if H.W. becomes president, then what's next? What do you got? Bob Dole? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Does the rise of Bill Clinton ever happen? I mean, there's just a
lot to consider there.
It's tough to think of an America without Ronald Reagan as the stopgap between decades of progressives and decades of progressives.
Between Carter and Clinton. Yeah, those were important years where he got a lot done. So it wouldn't be the same America, that's for sure.
Oh, I was just reading somebody somebody posted something. Oh my gosh, I've got to find this. That yesterday was like the anniversary of, there was a Russian soldier that saw the alert in 1983 that, oh my gosh, American nuclear warheads are headed for Mother Russia. And if he had followed protocol, then they would have launched nukes at America. But he's like, all right, let me make sure that this isn't ground radar. When it gets in the ground radar area, that it doesn't pick it up, which it didn't. And he goes, okay, it was just some weird blip in the computer or whatever. But if he had followed, we would have had a nuclear holocaust in 1983. So big thanks to Sergei or Sergei, whatever his name was. I don't know. Russian soldier. Anyway. But thank God we had Reagan back during the Cold War. Russia taking them head on. Thank God. So anyway, my childhood was saved by some guy whose name I can't remember in Russia. I just wish that, the big threat.
It might be worth remembering, actually.
Yeah.
We should look that up.
I will look that up.
Yeah, we should look that up.
It's a shame, though, that the childhood of my kids is in jeopardy now because of an American president, Joe Biden.
Yeah. And do you know that, and you probably heard this stat before, it took from George Washington to Ronald Reagan for America to get to $1 trillion in debt, right?
Yeah.
That's, a couple hundred years, essentially. And right now, they're considering a budget bill for $3.5 trillion. Just this budget.
Say it again.
Just this year's budget. $3.5 trillion they're trying to pass.
Gross.
I mean, that's how much this country has changed and how spendthrift we've become. It's unbelievable. And inside this bill are such things as $3 billion for tree equity. Tree equity? What the hell?
This is part of the Bay Tree Pact.
Yes. Yes. Long time no
We
hear.
have not heard that in a while.
No, thank you.
So the Biden administration wants $3 billion outlaid for tree equity. That's planting saplings, I guess, all over the place for tree equity. And you get $25 million on anti-discrimination and bias training in the healthcare industry.
Good.
And then $79 billion more for the IRS to step up their enforcement of tax law.
But remember.
Great.
Nancy Pelosi says we already cut to the bone. The cupboard
cupboard is bare. Yeah, you can't make any more budget cuts. We have to have tree equity.
Tree equity. If they're going to plant these trees, can we make sure they're the female trees that drop the seedlings? I know that cities don't like cleaning them up, but your allergies suck because of all the dude trees they've been planting because the federal government said they're prettier since, 1949, some federal government handbook? Remember that? We've talked about that the sexism in planting trees is why you have bad allergies.
Okay.
And the government's going to shut down Thursday night anyway. We're not going to get tree equity. I know. Aren't you going to miss it? It's going to really suck.
I am. The bill also sets aside at least $7.5 billion for the creation of a New Deal-style civilian climate corps. Man, do we need that. The civilian climate corps? Finally. The green spending increases when it comes to electric vehicles. The United States Postal Service alone will get $7 billion to purchase electric delivery vehicles.
Oh, sweet Lord.
And related infrastructure.
No.
Another $5 billion will go toward electric cars for the rest of the federal government, including non-tactical vehicles for the Department of Defense. One of the biggest outlays in spending is for the IRS, like $79 billion over the next 10 years for strengthening tax enforcement activities and increasing voluntary compliance, expanding audits, that's really important, and other enforcement activities. Union members will get a small break from that enhanced IRS enforcement as the proposed spending plan allows taxpayers to deduct union dues of up to $250 beginning next year. Oh, that's going to help a lot. Wow, I can deduct $250?
I think the bigger issue is that,
really?
Oh, look, unions getting special treatment.
It's true, but it's virtually nothing. It also earmarks $5 million for the National Labor Relations Board to install electronic voting mechanisms for union elections. That's important.
Oh, yeah, easier to manipulate.
The Treasury is going to hand out $25 million to nonprofit groups to develop, disseminate, review, research, and evaluate training for health professionals and all staff who interact with patients to reduce discrimination and bias in the provision of health care, with a focus on maternal health care. The proposal also allocates more than $1 trillion in programs for $1 trillion for older Americans, including $15 million for technical assistance centers or national resource centers that would focus on older individuals who are underserved due to their sexual orientation or gender identity.
Help us.
Mm-hmm.
Help us.
A lot of specialized services.
You talked about the IRS. They're coming after you if you have more than $600 in your bank account. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, they can track you. If you have any transaction that's $600 or more, then they can begin tracking you.
If you're not doing anything wrong, Pat.
What do you have to worry about? Nothing.
Ellipses, ...
A letter signed by more than 40 trade associations calls on Congress to reject the proposal, saying it violates customer privacy. You think? And would create an incredibly expensive and elaborate reporting requirement for banks.
Yeah, the banks don't like this.
Thank goodness.
They're standing up tall on this.
I mean, this is a complete invasion of our privacy, and none of their business. What are they tracking us for? What are you tracking? A purchase of $600 or more? We all make those purchases. I mean, you have a mortgage? That's more than $600.
It's madness.
It's insanity.
And by the way, the Soviet soldier is Lieutenant Colonel Stanislav Petrov. So I thanks to Lieutenant Colonel Petrov for stopping the nuclear holocaust in 1983 so that we could live under, communism today in America.
Oh, man. All right, let me tell you real quick about rough greens. We've been talking about rough greens for quite a while. By now, you probably know it's not a dog food, but it's a dog food supplement that makes the dog food that you buy, the dry kibble stuff, it makes it a lot healthier because in the process of sterilizing the dog food, all the nutrients are burned out of it. And so in order for it to last up to 3 years on the grocery store shelf, they have to do that. So this puts back into it the essential vitamins and minerals and the probiotics and the omega oils and the things that are going to make your dog's coat shiny and your dog a lot more active and a lot more healthy. Plus, the dogs that I know about just love this stuff. Except, of course, for Keith's. He needs to have his dogs checked. But if you want to find out if your dog is one of those that is going to gobble this stuff right up, like mine and Glenn's and Stu's, then they'll even send you a free bag, just a little bag to try out for a few days for your dog to see if your dog's going to eat it and if they like it. Just sprinkle it on top. My dog wouldn't eat her food without rough greens sprinkled on top. You can get a free bag of rough greens for your dog to try out. All you have to pay is shipping. Just go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com, roughgreens.com, or 833-ROUGH-DOG.
Beware, Pat Gray is unleashed.
Our 10-year anniversary of Mercury One is coming up. It's October 9th. It's a Saturday, October 9th. The Power of One, Renewing Kindness. We have American Idol former contestant and major Christian recording artist Danny Gokey and Colton Dixon. They're going to be performing live at the event. This will be one of their tour stops on their new tour, Stand in Faith. Bring your family and friends for a great night, a special evening celebrating 10 years of Mercury One, hosted by Glenn, of course, and friends at the Toyota Music Factory here in Irving, Texas.
Glenn and friends?
Glenn and friends.
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
what?
So you're under the umbrella of and friends?
I guess so. Although I don't think I'm hosting. I'm just sitting there somewhere.
I was about to say, it sounds like
sitting.
They're going to tell you, oh, by the way, you didn't know you're doing this tonight, Pat? Yeah. No one ever told me.
It would not be a surprise, although I don't think I'm involved.
Okay. All right. That's good.
Other than being there.
That'll be fun.
So I don't know what friends are going to be co-hosts.
David Barton will probably be there doing his thing.
Probably David Barton.
Yeah.
He'd be one.
He's a friend. Cool.
Also, if you like what we're doing here at The Blaze, and who wouldn't, we hope you'll support our efforts by signing up for a Blaze subscription. This will help, sort of protect us against all the nonsense in the world, all the cancel culture garbage.
Is there nonsense in this world?
Yeah, a little bit.
Come on.
Just a teeny bit. It's almost unnoticeable, but there is some. But now, more than ever, we need to stick together. Go to blazetv.com/Pat. Plans are as cheap as $5.53 a month. And that'll get you access to a ton of content you won't get anywhere else. Sign up today at blazetv.com/Pat.
Oh, before we forget the Lexus, don't forget the Mercury One stuff, the raffle going on. $100 gets you a ticket.
Oh, yeah.
You could literally own a brand new Lexus for $100.
I think it's a Lexus UX. Really a great car.
Yeah,
man, that thing is nice.
Pretty sweet.
I like it a lot. Yeah. A lot. That's a great car. Lexus makes decent vehicles.
Absolutely, they do.
And for $100, you could win that thing? That'd be awesome. Retails for like $40,000. So
Mercury One.
It's a good buy.
.org.
Okay, rural Texas hospitals might have to stop delivering babies because of the Biden vaccine mandate. Huh.
Wait.
Okay.
Baby's going to show up regardless of if anyone's on the receiving end of that toss.
He said some experienced nurses in the obstetrics department don't intend to get the COVID-19 vaccine, which will be required of them very soon because of the new federal mandate. They are also near retirement age, and a few of them have already voiced that I will just retire. And then a couple of other nurses have said, well, I'll just go to work for my husband's construction company. He's tried to get all 250 employees to take a COVID-19 vaccine at this hospital, but and they have reached 70% of the staff. The rest of them don't want it. So they're not going to have the staff to be able to be manning the or womaning the maternity ward.
Oh, that's good.
Womaning the maternity wards. So you can't have babies there. So you'll have to go somewhere else and do that. Okay. So great.
It's just the shortage of hospital beds available. It's not because of some COVID spike. It's because of people that don't want to get the shot and are losing their jobs.
It's a labor shortage.
It's a labor shortage.
And we've got a serious labor shortage everywhere. And it's affecting everything and everyone. Including my business, my company, Kexi Cookies. It's hard to get people to come to work, and because they're making too much staying home. So we'll see how that works out. Plus, there's a shortage, by the way. There's a shortage of materials, a shortage of ingredients, a shortage of everything. And that's apparently going to get worse by Christmas time. So prepare for that if you can.
Third worldification. Inflation expected to continue to rise. I love how they said it was transitory and, we get to the middle of 2021 and we'll be out of this. And now they're saying, it's probably going through the year into spring of 2022.
Or maybe 2023.
Yeah.
Didn't Fauci say something about 2024 or 2025?
He's talking about masks and stupid crap. I don't know. I'm glad he's been laying low for a week or two. Stay away, dude.
Well, we have another person who's just suggesting just get the vax and shut up. This woman who got on the internet and
did her thing,
telling people what to do. Here she is.
Guys, please get vaccinated. Please get vaccinated. I cannot stand the anti-vax community. You guys are selfish killers and you are killing everybody that you come in contact with because you are spreading the COVID. And I took an FDA-approved vaccine that is safe and effective. And if you come in contact with me, you're putting me at risk. Well, technically, no, I'm can't put me at risk. But you're putting public safety on the... Because if you come into a room with people who are fully vaccinated and we're protected, then, and you're not protected, then you're...
Get your glasses. Yeah.
If you're unvaccinated and we're vaccinated, then we're at risk because you're selfish. You're selfish. You're selfish killers.
Selfish killers. I love those.
They're so fun.
Many of them. And they're all so true.
Yeah, they are so true. Yeah.
I mean, you start involving yourself in the logic of why we all need to be vaccinated if already 75% of us are.
Yeah.
And you sort of get stuck in that circular argument of, wait a minute, why are you selfish if I'm protected against you?
That's the last thing a Marxist administration wants you to do is think things through.
Yeah.
Oh, you talk about the labor shortage and everything. What's not being talked about is how many people are leaving the military now. How many good people? Oh, you got the troopers, state troopers en masse leaving in Massachusetts. But back to the military, the Biden administration doesn't want to give honorable discharges to the troops who are refusing the COVID-19 shot. They want... They're still throwing around the dishonorable discharge label for people that are refusing an order.
That is unbelievable. Why you would dishonorably discharge somebody just because they don't want the vaccine?
It's evil.
That is awful.
Mm-hmm.
But it's typical of this administration.
Yeah,
it really is typical.
Yep, and I love the point. That you had a pathead Bob Corona pointed out. So it's harder to eat in New York or go to school than it is to vote. I mean, think about this.
Jeez.
I mean,
yeah, to get into a restaurant, especially if you're black, because blacks are less vaccinated than other ethnicities, apparently in New York. And so if you're black, you can vote, but you can't go into a restaurant. All right.
And if you think
now, so they can have a vaccination card, right? A passport, but they can't get ID. Is that what it is? Am I right on that?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So no ID. But you can get a vaccine passport.
Man, you got this. See?
Okay.
You noodled it out.
I did.
Nice job, Pat.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I've been working on it.
And if you think it's going to stop with just get the vax, here's your proof, go enjoy the rest of your life. No. It's going to be...
What else are they going to do?
Boosters on a regular basis. And if it hasn't been within the last 6-8 months, then you're done. You're out.
The dementia-riddled buffoon just got his third shot yesterday.
Yeah. Did he get his polio booster as well?
I don't know. I don't know. And what about tetanus?
That was another great
Are you fully
question.
vaccinated for tetanus? Mr. Biden?
That was the other thing that your Pat had there, Bob Corona was mentioning. Yeah, I don't remember getting my my polio booster, my mumps booster, my measles booster. Am I too late? I mean, what is happening?
Well, the problem is these RNA, mRNA vaccines are not vaccines. They're not vaccines. So that's why. That's why we're being roped into a third shot and a fourth shot. They've already talked about a fourth. And so why would it ever end? If it doesn't last, if it's not permanent, why would the third shot be permanent? It's not. You're going to have to keep getting them over and over and over again. On that happy note, we'll see you tomorrow.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.